So, 2016 just ended, and it's been a pretty good year. Well, okay, it's been shit, but the movies have been pretty good. For the most part. Anyway, I saw a lot of films in 2016, so I thought I'd recommend a few of them to you. I mean, this is a film channel after all, so it makes sense I tell you about some films I really liked. Now, I know what you're all thinking. Lawrence, why you released a 2016 video? It's February. Dude, shut the fuck up. Do you like films? Yeah? Do you like having films recommended to you? Yeah, I guess. So stop fucking complaining then. You're getting a bunch of films recommended to you. Who cares if it's so late? Now, if you can't already tell, I'm from the UK, so I'll only be picking films that were released in the UK in 2016. So if you're wondering why La La Land isn't on this list, that's because it wasn't released in the UK to 2017. I'm also going to be excluding any films that I was personally involved in. Yep. Anyway, I think I've talked long enough, so let's get started. These are the best movies of 2016 that I saw. Starting off this list is a New Zealand film called Hunt for the Wilderpeople. This is the new film from the co-director and writer of What We Do in the Shadows, Taika Waititi. With this film, Waititi has proven that he can make a great movie by himself. Hunt for the Wilderpeople is really funny. It has hilarious writing with really likeable characters. Sam Neill does a great job playing the grumpy no-nonsense uncle, but for me, it was newcomer Julian Denniston who stole the show. Not only was it a good child performance, it was a good comedic performance. Now, the film's plot isn't something that I would call unique. I mean, you got two characters who don't like each other, they reluctantly go on an adventure, then they start to like each other. Yeah, you've seen them a million times. However, the film succeeds by having great characters who work off each other very well, and the film's just funny as fuck. Not really a lot to say, it's just a really funny and pleasant film. Go watch it.
Oh, Uncle, we're famous! Hector Faulkner, 65, and Richard Baker, 13, have been missing now for 6 weeks. Faulkner is Caucasian. Well, they got that wrong because you're obviously white. There is a fear for Faulkner's mental health following the recent death of his wife. Police are not ruling out kidnapping. Kidnapping? Park rangers have been alerted for anyone seeing the pair should report back to the nearest police station. Oh, Uncle, you're basically a criminal now. But on the bright side, you're famous.
I think I'm crazy.
And Asian.
Next up is another film from New Zealand called Tickled. In this documentary, journalist David Farrer comes across a weird sport called competitive endurance tickling. After looking deeper into it, he discovers something a lot more sinister about the world of tickling. Not going to spoil what it is, but it gets pretty fucked up. Tickled is one of the most fascinating documentaries I've seen in a while. At first, the subject seems absolutely ludicrous, but when you know what's going on, you start to realise the seriousness of the situation. The film also gets really tense in a few places, particularly a scene near the end of the film which I won't spoil. It's funny, it's intense, it's depressing, it's shocking. It's a film that has to be seen to be believed. If you get a chance to see this film, then go see it. You won't regret it.
Then Debbie Kuhn starts going off on me, left and right, sending emails to the high school that I coach at.
I have additional information as a past employer. You don't want this guy in your league. Can you afford the distraction, the press, with an outed gay guy having a male tickling fetish in which he likes to tickle and be tickled by tied-up other gay athletes and bodybuilders?
False accusations saying I'm a drug addict and I was a child molester and I'm gay and this and that, which none of those things have ever been true.
Next up, we have a film that isn't from New Zealand called Tangerine. So Tangerine is a story of two transgender, transvestite, transsexual, I don't know, whatever you call them. Oh god, no, don't kill me, don't kill me, no, no, no! Anyway, the film follows two transvestites living their lives in Tinseltown, and that's basically it. It's one of those movies that doesn't have a plot as such. The film's more about the characters and their interactions than anything else. The film really works because of the two main characters. Pretty much anything that comes out of their mouths is comedy gold. Now, if the footage you're seeing now looks a bit weird, that's because this was actually shot on an iPhone. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but when you get used to it, it works really well and it gives the film a gritty look to it. One thing I really like about this film is that although both the main characters are transvestite, the film doesn't make a big deal out of it. Like, the film wasn't trying to make any big statements and it wasn't constantly reminding you that the characters are transvestites. They're just in the movie and that's about it. I don't know, I just found that approach really refreshing. So yeah, if you want to have a good laugh, then check this one out.
I've been keeping a secret about me and Chester.
Girl.
know what it is. You're
girl.
breaking up with him. Thank God. Because, honey, for him to be cheating on you like that.
Wait, what?
You didn't know?
How the fuck would I know?
Girl, because everything that you've been hearing on the block about the girl that he's been with.
Bro, you're the first girl I've seen on the block. Who is she?
Girl, she's some white fish. I don't know.
Chester's fucking cheating on me with real fish.
Yeah, bitch, like a real fish. Girl, like vagina and everything.
I've been gone for 28 fucking days, and you mean to tell me that he's been out here cheating on me with fish?
Yeah.
Coming up next is Denis Villeneuve's latest film, The Arrival. I'm really pleased to see that this film has gotten a lot of Oscar attention. This is also Villeneuve's first nomination as a director. So in The Arrival, aliens have come to Earth and no one knows why. So the government hire a linguistics professor, played by Amy Adams, to try and communicate with them and find their purpose for being here. Now apparently this film is a lot slower paced than people were expecting. Being an alien invasion movie, people were expecting something more along the lines of Independence Day, for some reason. However, The Arrival is a lot more, okay, I don't want to say intellectual as it makes me sound like a pretentious prick, but I think that's the right word to use here. This is definitely a film that's more about words than about actions. It's slow paced, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's boring. The film is more on the philosophical side of science fiction than the action adventure types like Independence Day or Star Wars. The film is less about trying to kill the aliens and more about trying to understand them. Speaking of the aliens, I thought their design was really intriguing, and it might have been a nod to Lovecraft, but I'm not 100% sure. Well shot, well acted, and philosophical. If it sounds like your cup of tea, then go see it.
I have something I need you to translate for me.
Why are you here? Can you understand us? Where did you come from?
Now you heard it. What do you make of it?
Is that...
Yes.
Next on this list is Hardcore Henry. I could talk about the film's plot, but honestly, I'd just be wasting my time. The story's basically just an excuse to blow shit up. It's an hour and a half of endless over-the-top action, gratuitous violence, all shot from a first-person perspective. And I fucking love it. Now, the whole idea of the film being shot in first person might be a bit gimmicky, but you know what? Who gives a shit? This film is fucking awesome. If you love over-the-top, self-aware action movies, then you'll love Hardcore Henry. Enough said. Next up, we've got a Japanese film called Creepy. Creepy is the latest film from Japanese horror icon Kiyoshi Kurosawa. Now, I haven't seen any of Kurosawa's other films, but after seeing this, I'm definitely interested in watching them. So in Creepy, a former detective and his wife move next door to a strange but seemingly harmless man and his family. However, after a few mysterious incidences, the detective becomes very suspicious of his new neighbour. The film has a very Hitchcockian vibe to it. It's suspenseful and it has plenty of twists and turns. All the actors did a great job, especially Teruyuki Kagawa, I don't think I'm pronouncing that right, as the creepy next door neighbour. I also really liked the camera work. The shots were either static or had subtle movements which gave the film an eerie feel to it. It was suspenseful, tense, and of course, creepy. If you're into these kind of films, then go check it out.
娘や奥様の前でペラペラ喋るのはどうなのかな
ミオだってこんな話聞きたくないだろ。
わかりました。すいません。
今度うちにいらっしゃってください。その時ゆっくりお話しますよ。いろいろ面白いものもお見せできますし。
じゃあそのうちに。
そのうちに。
あ、これクスクスです。そのままでもいいですけど、こっちのスープがちょっと染みても美味しいんですよ。
Up next is Anomalisa. Anomalisa is the latest film from screenwriter Charlie Kaufman. This is Kaufman's second film as a director, or at least co-director, as well as his first animated film. The film follows Michael Stone, a depressed motivational speaker who's unsatisfied with life. This is until he meets a shy girl named Lisa. Now, the plot may seem relatively simplistic, however, the film has a lot of emotional depth to it. Not going to give anything away, but it's pretty devastating and brutally honest. The film's animation is great. Not only was it really well done, but it was really original. Whereas a lot of stop motion films use very cartoony animation and movements, Anomalisa goes for a more grounded and realistic portrayal of life, making it a very unique film as far as stop motion goes. Both the lead actors do a fantastic job playing their characters, however I've got to give major props to Tom Noonan. I don't want to tell you who he plays as it's a bit of a spoiler, but you'll know it when you see it. This is definitely not an easy watch, but it's a film that's worth watching.
I think I might have psychological problems.
Oh, good. That clears things up. Thanks.
Oh, it's hard to explain. I've been running for a long time now.
Running? We were special together. That's what I thought.
Yeah, I agree. But things kind of shifted.
Just like completely suddenly. I was so pissed at you. I was so fucking hurt. I didn't get out of bed for a year. Do you realize that?
Jesus. I'm sorry.
God. You drank that fast?
I get a lot of practice.
Coming up next is a German film called Look Who's Back. What is Look Who's Back, you ask? Well, Look Who's Back is a film about Adolf Hitler. But instead of dying in 1945, he time travels to modern day Berlin where he's mistaken as a method actor. No, I'm not joking, that is the movie. If that sounds familiar to you, I believe the book was a meme at some point. Well, this is the adaptation of that book. This film really surprised me. When I first watched it, I was expecting a dumb comedy about Hitler. However, the film has a fair bit of social commentary. It kind of reminded me of Borat and Bruno. Hell, there's even a few scenes where they interview real people. Now, is it as good as Borat or Bruno? No, but there's still a lot to like about it. There are a few things I don't like about it though. A lot of the side characters are pretty annoying and unlikable. None of the side plots go anywhere, and some of the presentation editing was downright obnoxious. Despite all that, I'd say this is a pretty solid film. It may not be your pint of Heineken, but it's still worth a watch. I mean, if this concept isn't at least worth one watch, then I don't know what is.
Was ist denn das für ein Lärm? Was ist das? Für ein Lärm? Das ist Hip-Hop. Nigger, Nigger. Nigger, Nigger, was soll das denn?
Das ist sozusagen ein Lob.
Ein Lob?
Ja.
Was ist das denn für ein Schmarrn? Nigger, das heißt Schimpfwort für Neger, das weiß doch jedes Kind. Denken Sie, ich bin von vorgestern?
Nein, Nigger, das heißt sowas wie Freund, Bruder, Nigger halt, Freund.
Freund?
Ja.
Nigger. Hey, Nigger.
Ah! Oh!
Wie geht's dir, Nigger?
Tun Sie das weg, hören Sie auf, bitte.
Warum?
Oh, ist das eklig.
Wieso, was ist denn los,
Aber
Nigger?
nein, tun Sie ab!
Up next is Notes on Blindness, a film that, unfortunately, not a lot of people have seen or heard of. After losing his sight in 1983, writer John Hall recorded himself in a series of audio cassettes documenting his experiences with blindness. This film, in a sense, is the adaptation of those recordings. Now, there's some debate as to whether this is actually a documentary. Although the film uses actors, the actual cassette recordings serve as narration. Personally, I'm undecided as to whether I consider this a documentary. What I am decided on, though, know is that Notes on Blindness is a remarkable film. The best way to describe this film is that it's more of an experience than a straightforward narrative. What the film is attempting to do is to make you experience blindness in a unique way. Now, obviously, a simple way of achieving this would be to, well, just do this the whole movie. However, the film does something different. Most of the shots were either out of focus or had a shallow depth of field, giving you the feeling of isolation and disconnection. Now, the film gets quite surreal and abstract at times. However, it never feels like random bullshit for the sake of random bullshit, unlike other films I saw that year. It always feels relevant to the film. This is a film that's both depressing and beautiful at the same time. It's a very unique film, and it's a shame that more people haven't seen it. If you get a chance to see this film, then go see it.
I needed to have serious books recorded sensibly. What about anthropology and sociology? All that was basically available in the United Kingdom was detective novels and romantic fiction. Well, I'm interested in reading contemporary social sciences. No, look, how do blind people read big books? They said they don't. Anyway, I'll sort it out, so thanks for your advice. They don't. That was it. I didn't buy that.
And the last film on this list is Son of Saul. Now, this is the type of film I can understand people not wanting to watch it. Being a Holocaust movie, it's not exactly an easy watch, but then again, it shouldn't be. This is one of the most brutally honest depictions of the Holocaust I've seen on film. Most of the violence and atrocities were committed off screen, which made the film infinitely more disturbing. Now, you may have noticed that the footage you're seeing now is in 4:3. The reason for this is that the film is trying to give you the sense of being trapped. The camera almost exclusively films our main character and mostly in close-ups, adding to the feeling of claustrophobia. Not only was this film incredibly well done, but it was respectful as well. This is without a doubt an expertly directed film, and holy shit, this is actually the director's first feature film. I think it's safe to say that we can expect some amazing things from this director. This is one of the most powerful films I've ever seen. It's the best film I've seen from 2016, and it's definitely left a powerful impact on me. Now, I understand if you don't want to watch this film, but if you don't, you'll be missing out on one of the best films of the decade.
Was ist der Anlass Ihres Besuches, wenn ich fragen darf? Putzen. 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 Oj, oj, oj! Putzen! Mazel tov! Raus hier!
So those are my recommendations of 2016. There were still some films in 2016 I'm yet to see, like I, Daniel Blake, The Neon Demon, Pass Through. So I'm not saying these are the best, just from what I saw. So overall, 2016's been a fairly decent year for movies. I probably won't call it a particularly strong year, but there's still a lot of films to appreciate. Anyway, that's about all I have to say. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed it, and you should probably have some movies to check out. So get watching, you fucking bitch. I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. Please don't dislike this video. Hey guys, it's me. Oh my god, it's my face, but you saw in my last video, so it's not really a surprise. Thanks for watching the video. I just wanted to give you a quick update for what's happening with this channel. I'm going to be starting a new series soon called Super Reviews. They're going to be like my normal reviews, except they're going to be a lot more in-depth and go into detail. So the first movie that's going to get the super review treatment is a film called Pride, Prejudice and Zombies. Because I saw that film the other week, and I have a few things I want to say about it, which I'll talk about in the video. So that's going to be my next major project. However, before that though, I'm going to be doing a few more minor videos, like I do some past reviews, some past game reviews, maybe an analysis video or so, some sort of minor videos. I've got an analysis video in mind, but I might do that after Pride and Prejudice, but I don't know yet. I need to make my mind up on that. Also, I'm going to be doing the, of course, the reviews of the movies that are coming out. I probably won't do the new video game releases because video games are really fucking expensive nowadays. So I might just be limited to demos. So yeah, that's about all I have to say. So stay tuned to this channel for new content, and I'll see you later. Bye. This is the title. Oh fuck. This is the. This is. Oh my god. This is. I can't get the fucking words out. Okay, calm down. This is the type of film I can understand people not wanting to watch.